أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope all of you are doing great. Before moving on to the remaining three characteristics of an ism as we had discussed in the previous lesson, we first need to know about the types of ism, alright, and this division has been done on two features or two characteristics, alright, and what those features are and how we can differentiate an ism or three various isms on the basis of these two characteristics is what we are going to discuss in this lesson, inshallah. Alright, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. So first of all, you can see that this slide is quite busy. Alright, but as always, inshallah, I'm going to explain each and every part of it so that by the end of this lesson, you are very comfortable at seeing this slide, inshallah. Okay, first of all, let's start from the top. There are three types of ism based on whether they carry a tanween or not, and whether their rafa, nasab, and jar forms are similar to each other or not. Okay, so these are the two features on the basis of which we have divided an ism into three types. You are going to find in Arabic that many asma are carrying a tanween, all right. However, there are some asma that do not carry tanween, all right. So that is one of the major divisions. Next division is on the basis of their rafa, nasab, and jar forms. So if their rafa, nasab, and jar forms are different from each other, they are going to be grouped in a particular group. And if their rafa, nasab, and jar forms are different, they are similar to each other, then they are going to be grouped accordingly. And that's what we are going to, inshallah, elaborate in this lesson. Okay, so as you can see that on the basis of these two features, an ism can be divided into three types. We have munsarif asma, ghair munsarif asma, ghair means without or non, and then we have the mabni asma. Alright, and what these are, we are going to cover. By the way, about 85% of asma in Arabic are munsarif. Alright, so our focus in this course is going to be the munsarif asma. Alright, and of course we are going to study ghair munsarif and the mabni asma here and there. Alright, whenever and wherever they pop up. Alright, we're gonna study them as they turn up. And munsarif asma are the ones that are going to form the basic bulk of our course as well, inshallah. Now, about 85% of the asma in Arabic are munsarif, alright? So you only need to worry about these, and that's all. Alright, now beginning with munsarif asma, because they are majority, therefore the authority. Alright, so munsarif asma. First of all, the first feature that differentiates these various kinds of asma is whether they carry and whether an ism carries tanween or not. So all the munsarif asma in their default root word state do carry a tanween. Alright, hence the check mark. So what do I mean when I say that in their default root word state they carry a tanween? You see, remember how we studied a simple word? For example, here we have the example of the word abidun. We already studied a couple of words before when we were doing Arab. So all those words, the singular asma, all right, they are their root words, you could say. Okay, and all those words are actually your tanween carrying ones. They are the defining features. Okay, they are the defining words rather. So the word abidun, since it carries a tanween in its singular form, therefore it is characterized as munsarif. Now its derivatives may or may not carry tanween, but those derivatives are not the defining words for inclusion in this category of being munsarif. All right, so if the singular root word is carrying a tanween, then that word falls in the category of munsarifism. All right, that's what's important to memorize and understand. If a derivative doesn't carry a tanween, doesn't matter. But if the root word, the actual singular root word carries a tanween, that's munsarif for sure. Okay, so the words that we studied so far are mu'allimatun, salihatun, so on and so forth. Abidun is one of the words and it carries a tanween. And the tanween for rafa form is un. The tanween for nasab form is an, and then the tanween for jar form is in. Right? We know this much already. However, what you can see here is that the rafa form is not equal to the nasab form, which is not equal or similar to the jar form. So we have abidun, which is not similar to abidan, as you can see from the ending sounds. And of course, they're not similar to abidin, which is a distinct entity in itself. All right, so all these three forms of rafa nasab jar are not similar to each other. All right, and that's what we need to remember, that the Arab forms are all different. Okay, so they carry tanween. The munsarif asma, that's a characteristic, that they carry tanween. All right, and all the Arab forms are different. By all, I simply mean that rafa form is not similar to the nasab form, which is not similar to jar form. All right, that's all. That's the formula here, as you can see for yourself. All right, so munsarif is done. What's the opposite of munsarif? Ghair munsarif. All right. Do they carry a tanween? Nope, they don't. And what about the Arab forms? They have twins. Now, we know that there are three Arab forms. We have Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. And out of those Rafa, Nasab, and those three forms, if there's a twin, all right, if there are two pairs that are similar to each other, that are identical to each other, then what does that mean? That simply means that out of these three, two are similar to each other and one is different. So the Rafa form is the different and distinct one, as you can see, and the Nasab and Jar forms are similar. So that can be very easily seen here, that our example for a ghair munsarif ism is masajidu. Notice no tanween, and also notice that the nasab form is masajida, which is expected, and the jar form, however, is masajida as well. All right, which is not expected. You would expect it to be masajidi, but that is not the case. All right, so it's masajidu, masajida, masajida, and not masajidi. All right, that would be incorrect. That's the reason I like to call, or rather explain this topic as calling these two in ghair munsarif form as twins. Okay, so that's what. And these ghair munsarif asma form about, I don't know, about 10% of the asma. All right, so, and once again, we are going to come across these very often. All right, and then we have the last group, which is called mabni. Do they carry a tanween? No, they do not. And the Arab forms, they are triplets, and they're all identical. Okay, so Rafa form is equal to Nasab form, which is equal to Jar form, which means, for example, we have the word haza. Haza means this in Arabic, in English, and we can see that the Rafa form of Haza is similar, rather identical to the Nasab form of Haza, which again is identical to the Jar form of Haza. Therefore, Haza, Haza, Haza. Okay, hence triplets. Okay, so you see that's how you have categorized, or rather the Arabs have categorized the asma into three types on the basis of these two characters, whether they have tanween on them or not, and if they do not have the tanween, are their rafa nasab and jar forms similar or different? Okay, just to sum it all up together once again, if you have an ism that carries a tanween, all right, it's going to be munsarif automatically. You don't even need to check the other pointer. Okay, as you can see, this is the only group that has tanween on it. So abidun, abidan, abidin, and you can also see that all the Arabi forms are different. All right, they are not similar to each other. Next, we can see the ghair munsarif asma. They are the second in bulk. All right, so we have 85% about, we have about 85% of munsarif asma and about 10% of ghair munsarif asma. So 10 to 13% of ghair munsarif asma. Anyways, that's not important. The thing that we need to learn and remember is that they do not carry a tanween and that their nasab and jar forms are identical to each other, hence the twins. And the formula that I like for ghair munsarif asma is rafa is not equal to or not similar to nasab and jar, which are equal to each other. All right, that's how I like to summarize it. And finally, we have the Mabni Asma, which once again do not carry a tanween, and their rafa nasab jar forms are similar or rather identical to each other. That is it. Okay, so this was the types of ism, and I hope that this is clear. If there's anything that you need more elaboration on, then just let me know, and inshallah I'll get back to you. Okay, in the next lesson, inshallah, we are going to cover we are going to get back to the characteristics of ism, and inshallah we're going to start off with status of an ism, which can either be nakra or marfa. Okay, so till that time, barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al Hakim. Allah Hafiz.